Hi, my name is Debbie, and I'm here to share my story about our decision to move to Cambodia. Just a little background info. We raised our family in West Tennessee, and that was the longest that I have ever lived anywhere, so I consider Tennessee home. That's important to the story. Paul decided to take a position at Pepperdine University, so we moved to beautiful Southern California. And let me tell you, it was a wonderful place to live. We were so happy there. We lived there for 12 years. But I, at some point, was longing for home. I wanted to go back to Tennessee. And so I kept praying to God, please, please, let us go back. Well, little did I know, Paul, the struggle was starting. Paul came home from work and he said that he shared that he felt like God was asking more of him. So I had been praying for Tennessee to go back home, but God was leading him in the opposite direction, Cambodia. He then shared about what the mission would be like, that we would take medical care to the village people along the Mekong River, and that we would live on a ship. And I literally laughed out loud, but the struggle continued. And it just seemed like that with every sermon, God was working on my heart. And I can remember a sermon about Jonah and him not wanting to go to Nineveh. And I said, but God, I am not Jonah. And then I go to Florida to visit my brother, and we go to children's worship, and the lesson is about Abraham and how Abraham left his family, he left his land and all that he's ever known to follow and to serve God. And I'm going, okay, God, I hear you. Well, the struggle continued, and this day, I do remember vividly, I went into Hallmark to look for a birthday card for my friend, and on the front of the card it said, as you venture, and then you open up the card, on the ship of life, and I went, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And I said, okay, God, I'm listening. And so we woke up one morning and I looked over at Paul and I said, let's go. So we sold our house, we sold our cars, our household goods, and we moved to Cambodia for a 3-year commitment. Remember when God promises that in this life we will have our difficulties? Well, there were difficulties, there were struggles, and I cried for the first 3 months on that ship. And God brought me through it. But I do feel that I grew more spiritually in those 3 months than I've grown in my whole life. We went to help the poor, we went to help those in need, many who had never even seen a doctor before, and the needs were great and overwhelming. When we offered food or clothing or trips to the hospital for surgery, we let them know that this was God that was working in their lives. And they gave back to us. They gave back to us with their smiling faces, with their open hearts, and they're searching for hope and for God. So I look back on those years on the Mekong River and on the Tonle Sap Lake, and I still remember those precious faces. How thankful that they were, that we were there, and that we were part of their lives.